We're back. Market down a bunch today or something? Oh, yeah. Because GameStop is trash. It's not doing well. But neither is the whole market. I actually want to look. You're under 10 billion market cap now. Pretty interesting. Actually, I want to take a look at some charts. Then we'll see if there's anything interesting to read for some stream clips. And then, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. What's up, Matt? How you doing, bro? Did it gap down? No. It's got a gap at 22.3. Okay. Bearish. Bearish. Kind of bearish. Kind of bullish. Kind of bearish. Oh well. Who cares? Anyway. Let's look at this trash. Oh my god. New low for the S&P. That looks like shit. Dude, the market looks like garbage. $13D. I'll check it out in a sec. Looking at this garbage market. Well, it looks like Michael Burry won. He won this round. He won this round. Yeah, the market looks like shit. It's not bad, though. I mean, realistically, you're just retracing the breakout, which the Dow's retraced its breakout. NASDAQ's getting pretty close. Same in the S&P. And the Russell retraced its breakout quite a while ago, so I don't know. We'll see, I suppose. It does look like absolute garbage, though. Did anyone get that Gengar promo today in the perfect order? Did anyone get into that? Perfect order came out today, right? Pretty sure. Pretty sure it came out today. What's up, Moose? Ruben, what's up? Hugh G. Did get the Gengar promo, nice. Did you grade it? Is it in good condition? Good enough condition to grade, or was it in trash condition? Did you get perfect order as well? Did you pre-order that? Yeah, I don't even want to look at GameStop. That shit looks like garbage, bro. That looks like garbage. Should have, yeah. Whatever. There were some good covered call sales back before the earnings. That's all I'll say. But who cares? The fact that it's still at $22 while the whole market's just absolutely shitting is pretty impressive. Good centering, a little nick that I'm seeing if I could flatten out. Ah, that sucks. Not a 10 then. That sucks. That sucks. That's okay. Alright. Let's see what we got for news. Actually, there's a couple things. I added a Polygon.com to the news list. Sony rose their prices. I think that's pretty interesting because GameStop announced that they were gonna, you know, give you $69 to trade in your PlayStation for an Xbox or whatever. It makes sense why they did that, because they probably had information in advance that Sony was gonna do this. Why isn't this working? Bro, my computer is so shit. There you go. There you go, little buddy. You did it. You loaded something in. Congratulations. This website's trash, though. I don't know if it's the website or my computer. My computer has been performing terribly lately. Let's see. Oh yeah, I want to add this to the one video, then add that. Bro, why is my computer so slow right now? This is crazy. It's so slow. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of the Yahoo. Maybe the Yahoo is struggling because the market's volatile. Make sure you guys hit the like button. It says there's 10 people here, but 2 likes. Let's see. Bought an Ascended Heroes 2-pack to get the 15 limit for the promo. Don't really care about Perfect Order. Oh, for sure. First GameStop I went to before open told me our store didn't get the promo shipped, aka manager selling them all on eBay himself. What a boss. Shout out to that guy. It did say in the article that it was like limited stores or something like that, so maybe he's telling the truth. Alright, so I read that. I just need to go back to... Is that a new Seeking Alpha article? I hate when all these AI fucking things make articles about GameStop, because then I forget which articles I've already read. Damn. There's so many Seeking Alpha articles. What the heck? I wish I could read all of them, but it only lets you read one. One per day. It's pretty whack. Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll just go... So, like, what's the last article I read? I don't even remember. There's just too many, bro. There's just too many articles. GameStop posts 14% fall in quarterly revenue. You know what's funny is they actually broke even on revenue, but they did something in Europe to get rid of 200 million in revenue. I forget exactly. I saw some, or now I gotta look it up. So I remember seeing it. Oh yeah, you talked about this. What's this? Vanguard Group. They sold their position, potentially. Because Vanguard Group was one of the largest shareholders. So maybe they might have sold their position. Let's see, January 12th, 2026, Vanguard Group Inc. went through an internal realignment. In accordance with the SEC release, certain subsidiaries or business divisions of subsidiaries of Vanguard Group formerly had or were deemed to have beneficial ownership with Vanguard will report beneficial ownership separately. Oh, okay. Vanguard Group, in alignment with such release, these subsidiaries or business divisions pursue the same investment strategies as previous pursued by Vanguard. Vanguard Inc. is no longer has or is deemed to have beneficial ownership over securities beneficially owned by such subsidiaries. Okay, so it's whatever subsidiary Vanguard Group had. It looks like they split potentially or something. Not exactly sure. But I don't think Vanguard has those shares anymore. And weren't they the largest? They were one of the largest shareholders. Weren't they? Maybe not. Maybe they were never shareholders. Maybe they're shareholders. I don't know. That's a weird 13D. I thought Vanguard Group was one of the top shareholders. But I guess not. Oh yeah, see? They sold 38.2 million, so they sold out of their position. Interesting, interesting. They sold their whole position, 38 million shares. Holy fuck. That's why the stock's down. So, well, that was January 16th, actually. That was before the earnings. It said January 16th, right? Didn't it? Yeah, or January 12th. So where's January 12th on the chart? January 12th. Yeah, like right here. Huh. I mean, that's crazy that a 38 million share position barely moves this. Pretty interesting. That's a huge sell. It's massive. Absolutely massive. Are these all new 13Fs? No, just this one. I think the last ones I remember seeing are Peak 6. So Creek Drive, they bought 900,000 shares, 715,000 calls. Goldman Sachs sold all their calls, sold a lot of their puts, sold 656,000 shares. That's a huge sell. 38 million shares, 38.2 million shares. That's a massive sell. Assuming that's a sell, I don't. From what it said in the notes, potentially those shares still exist in one of Vanguard's subsidiaries. But I don't know. That's. Oh well. Pretty interesting, I guess. I saw them promos are selling for 75. Bro, what? What a joke. Pokemon's so dumb. I will never buy Pokemon ever again because unless the whole market crashes, which it probably won't, I will legitimately never buy Pokemon ever again. 150 bucks? Get the fuck out of here with that, bro. 200? Last one sold for 95, 115. What a joke, dude. What an absolute joke. I will never buy Pokemon, bro. Ever again. Straight up. Never, ever again. I don't want to be part of that. Ooh. What's up, Varley? How you doing, bro? Is there anything else here? There should be like can't you go to the sec, type in Vanguard group. Oops. See, they sold out of what is this? Something happened here. Because all their positions are gone. So weird. I've never seen that before. All their positions got liquidated somehow. Like what? That is so confusing. I wonder if there's info about that. Just type in Vanguard group. There's news. There it is. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. There's no news about it either. That is so weird. Vanguard disaggregates holdings after realignment. Wells Fargo shows zero ownership. Vanguard Group filed amendment number 10 to its Schedule 13G, reporting beneficial ownership in Wells Fargo common stock. The filing states 0 shares. Explains an internal realignment effective January 12, 2026, after which certain subsidiaries report holdings separately in reliance on SEC release number 3439538. So the amendment documents that Vanguard and certain subsidiaries now report holdings on a disaggregated basis following an internal realignment. What's the realignment then? It's just this one website. They just have 1 million articles for every stock that they sold. Or, I mean, I guess they didn't sell it, but they're, yeah, I don't know what that means. What does an investment fund realigning mean? Realigning an investment fund means adjusting the portfolio's asset allocation to match the target mix or risk profile. This can involve selling off overweight positions and buying back underweight ones to ensure the portfolio remains within the desired asset distribution. Realigning is often done to protect against market volatility and to maintain a consistent risk level over time. Whoa, so did they just sold all their shares before the market crash? No cap. Either they sold all their shares or they're just reporting it on a different name or something. I don't know. That's weird, bro. That's weird. That's very weird. Very weird. Why did I even go in here in the first place, though? I was going to look something up. Oh, yeah, the Europe thing. Where was it? Oh yeah, as you can see, 2024, they had 638 million sales in Europe, 404 million in Australia. We won't even talk about Canada, and then 2575 in the U.S. But the U.S. actually beat sales in 2025. The U.S. revenue was 2667, so they actually beat sales by almost 100 million in the U.S. They beat sales by 94 million in Australia, but they lost like 200 million in sales in Europe. And there was something I read on why that happened. I can't remember where it was or what it was. The SG&A was driven by a 96.4 million decrease in labor related. No. While net sales declined 81.3% in Canada and 32.7% in Europe, the overall decrease in consolidated net sales was primarily driven by a 276.1 million or 27.5% decline in software sales and a 259.3 million or 12.3% decline in hardware and accessories, partially offset. Let's see. I thought there was something specifically in Europe. Oh, the decline in Europe segment was primarily due to the divestiture of Italy and the closure of our operations in Germany, both completed in the second half of fiscal 24. Okay, so that wouldn't have an effect on 25's earnings. I thought there was something that I read. Let's see. No. I could have sworn there was something. So this is 2025. Oh, ended February 1st, so that's the 2024 report. I guess, never mind. I thought there was something. But I guess not. Maybe I thought the Italy thing was it, but that was from 2024, so I don't think that can be it. Eh, whatever. Whatever. I wonder if Vanguard really did sell all of their positions before the market crash. Like, that's very impressive if they did do that. Very impressive. Did anyone get the Skittles flu? I have no clue. I haven't seen anything about it, so probably not. I guess I'll read these two articles real quick. There's add-ons to the two videos. So, just as GameStop announced that they were doing the $69 trade-in for an Xbox or for a PlayStation for an Xbox, about a couple days later, Sony raises PS5 prices again. A standard PlayStation 5 now costs $150 more than it did at launch. Sony is raising the retail price of the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation Portal worldwide. The company announced Friday, starting April 2nd, the price of all PS5 consoles will go up by $100 to $150 depending on the model. The cost of the standard PlayStation 5 is now $649.99. The high-end PlayStation 5 Pro, which launched at $699.99, will now cost $899.99. Holy cow, dude. Almost $1,000 for a PlayStation 5 Pro? That's a joke, man. That is a joke. That is actually insane. The PS5 originally launched at $499.99 back in November 2020. The PlayStation maker hiked prices in the US last August, raising the price of the standard PS5 to $549.99. Prior to that increase, Sony Interactive Entertainment had raised prices in Europe, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Here are the new prices for the PS5 consoles starting next week. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And the first time, or when we read about that article that GameStop was offering really high trade-in values for PS5s, I did talk about how PlayStations were going to go up in value faster than Xboxes. I didn't know it was going to be happening next week. I didn't know they were raising the prices next week. That's crazy. So in the US, a PS5 is going to be $649.99. PS5 Digital Edition, $599.99, and a PS5 Pro is going to be $899.99. Wow. The UK, a PS5 is £569.99, I believe that is. I think that's pounds. I don't know. PS5 Digital Edition, $519.99, and PS5 Pro, $789.99. And Europe, it's going to be 649.99 euros. Digital edition is going to be 599.99. And PS5 Pro is going to be 899.99. I believe those are euros. And then Japan, a PS5 is going to be 97,980 yuan. PS5 Digital Edition is going to be 89,980 yuan. And PS5 Pro is going to be 137,980 yuan. Sony attributes the latest price increase for the PS5 lineup to continued pressures in the global economic landscape. We know that price changes impact our community, and after careful evaluation, we found this was the necessary step to ensure we can continue delivering innovative, high-quality gaming experiences to players worldwide, said Isabel Tomatis, Vice President of Global Marketing for Sony Interactive Entertainment. Sony is also bumping up the price of its PlayStation Portable remote player. The following prices for the PS Portal will go into effect on April 2nd as well. US will be $249.99, UK will be $219.99, Europe will be $249.99, and Japan will be 39,980 yuan. That's a $50 price increase for the Portal, which launched in 2023. Analysts expected gaming hardware prices to rise in 2026 as manufacturers face rising costs from inflation, tariffs imposed by Trump, and component shortages. Wow. Here it comes, chat. Here it comes. It's going to be the comeback of classic retro gaming, bro. People are going to start going back to PS4 and PS3 and the older Xboxes. People aren't going to pay for this, bro. They're not going to want to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro for $1,000. Like, it's going to be the resurgence of physical retro gaming, bro. People are going to start playing, older stuff. Like, people aren't going to want this. You don't want to pay $1,000 for a PS5 Pro and then go buy a bunch of microtransactions and $100 games. Because soon enough, the games are going to be $100 too. Like, what a joke, man. What a joke. It's good for GameStop, though. It's good for GameStop. Oh, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Who would have thought a Sony PS5 would have been an investment? What's up, Joe DeBango? What's up, Joe? My PS4 collects dust, so another reason not to upgrade. Shit, that PS4 is going to be valuable soon. Casual 30% increase from release price for a 6-year-old product. Wild. Yeah, insane, bro. I mean, people who haven't bought their PlayStations yet are going to buy it when Grand Theft Auto comes out. Even if it is at $1,000, people are still going to buy it. And then I wanted to read this. This is just another little add-on to the that other article we read yesterday. about GameStop being a scalper or whatever. This was the article it was referencing. That's why I added a Polygon to the list, because a lot of those websites get their information from Polygon. So here we go. GameStop keeps increasing prices for Pokemon cards, and it's getting out of control. For certain releases, fans can expect to pay 50% or more over MSRP. And we're just reading this because this is where Kotaku got all their information from their article, so we might as well just read this. Few people are as aware of the meaning of MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, like GameStop customers in search of Pokemon cards. As trading card fans know all too well, GameStop prices for the Pocket Monster collectibles run higher than you would find at any other major chain, at times rivaling the amounts you would expect from a reseller, and apparently it's going to keep getting worse. Well, reseller prices are going to keep getting worse, so GameStop might as well compete with them. Why should GameStop compete with Target and all of them and give resellers margin? It's the same stuff we said at the first article. Like, GameStop selling at scalper prices is beneficial to GameStop's business. There's no reason for GameStop to benefit people who just scalp product. I mean, they have the Gengar promo that came out today. All you had to do was spend $15 and be a pro member to get the Gengar promo, and people are selling them for over $100 on eBay, literally not even 24 hours later. So it's a complete joke for GameStop to sell anything MSRP. They have to compete and, not give scalpers margin and get products to people who actually want them. Demand for Pokemon cards has remained high in recent years, to the detriment of both retail workers and fans. At stores like Target, fans will regularly line up ahead of time to purchase new releases, even if it means risking potential injury. If TCG fans abstain from joining the frenzy, then they run the risk of not being able to purchase the cards at all unless they venture to GameStop. Oh yeah, that's great. I love that GameStop actually has product because they don't give scalpers a margin. That must be such a negative thing. The video game retailer has recently shifted to focus its business model on trading cards, which still heavily rely on brick and mortar sales. To this end, GameStop now grades cards, purchases cards for resale, and even puts together its own mystery packs that guarantee collectibles of certain rarity or value. Yeah, Power Packs is awesome. The physical Power Packs are really cool too, on top of the digital Power Packs. For over a year now, GameStop has experimented with the prices of its trading cards. Reports from February 2025 saw fans grousing over markups on new card stock, ranging from a few dollars up to $10 more than the suggested retail value. Despite the upcharge, fans reported that they still had trouble finding desirable packs consistently. Because it's such a high demand product, even if GameStop is pricing it at scalper prices, people are still going to buy it. People want those cards, man. While GameStop prices were higher, they were still lower than what a reseller might charge. Turns out this was just the start for GameStop. Yeah, and GameStop sells a little bit cheaper than resellers, so anyone who actually wants product and is a real collector or someone who actually plays the game and not just some little nerd who stores boxes in their basement and just scalps the product for the tiniest little margins, GameStop's a valuable place for them to go. In November 2025, fans once again noticed that Pokemon card prices had increased at GameStop stores. Booster boxes, Elite Trainer boxes, booster bundles, and sleeve booster packs all saw price hikes. The increase varied widely depending on the product. GameStop started charging $6.99 for sleeve booster packs, typically priced at $4.99, a 55% change. On the higher end, a GameStop exclusive Ultra Premium collection was initially sold by the retailer for $180. That price was reportedly lowered to $159.99 at some stores, fans say, but as of writing, just a few months later, that very same box is being sold by GameStop for $274.99. Yeah, but I believe scalpers are selling it for like $300, so what can you do, bro? What can you do? But the promise of potentially obtaining a valuable card proved too seductive for fans. Even after the second apparent price increase, Some stores said that people would still come in and sweep as much stock as they could, regardless of the cost. While some fans could find cards if they went to GameStop shortly after opening, these customers generally were sorting through leftovers. Big ticket items sold almost immediately. Yeah, it's because people want the product, man. It doesn't matter how much it costs, honestly. Those cards are valuable in people's eyes. And I mean, to the market, they are valuable. So, my opinion is kind of irrelevant. I think Pokemon's worthless, and I don't think cardboard or sealed boxes of Pokemon has any value besides what people put on it. So, is it going to continue to last? I guess we'll see. But so far, it's continuing. People bought the product just the same and didn't give a single shit about the increased prices, one GameStop customer wrote in November 2025. Customers complaining about prices but paying anyway has now become a meme for GameStop employees. The quote, fuck GameStop crowd sure does spend a lot of time spending money in GameStop, one employee remarked in early March 2025. Fuck these raised prices. I hope GameStop goes out of business. Anyway, I'll take $200 ETBs and two $200 UPCs. Fucking scammers, the employee continued. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious. Some fans say that workers at their local stores have explained the price increases as a response to the resale environment. I couldn't believe the employee at my GameStop had the audacity to lie straight to my face that the prices were being raised to battle scalpers. One fan wrote in a video discussion the anti-resale rationale. I was like, GameStop, y'all are the scalpers now. They are battling scalpers. That's not a lie. That's literally not a lie. That's what they're doing. They're competing with scalpers so they can benefit off the margin instead of giving some fucking nerd the margin. GameStop deserves the margin. Despite all the controversy, GameStop workers at multiple locations are now reporting that they have been instructed to print out new price tags for a variety of sets, like the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. The MSRP for that collection is $119.99, but employees say that the set has gone up to $249.99 at GameStop. The fluctuation is being compared by some to the practice of dynamic pricing, where stores will alter their price tags based on real-time demand. As far as employees are concerned, the practice will only get worse so long as fans keep purchasing the cards for inflated prices. And I mean, GameStop must be expecting something, They pretty much predicted that PlayStation 5 was going to go up in value. They did that trade offer and are offering really high trade values for PlayStation 5s, and then a couple days later Sony announces that they're going to raise prices for PlayStation. So maybe Pokemon price raises are coming soon and GameStop's just preparing for that. You really never know. And even if it's not, GameStop deserves to compete with scalpers and take the margin. And Target and Walmart and all those other businesses should be doing the same thing. At this point, GameStop is charging what the scalpers are charging, one employee remarked in a Reddit thread, discussing the most recent price increases, which in turn means the scalpers are going to see this, wait until they sell out anyway to idiots, and then they will increase their prices as is the scalper way, which then means that demand goes up again, and so the next release will get another price increase from GameStop and other hobby stores that are greedy, and the cycle just continues. Why does it say they sell out anyway to idiots? You're saying that someone who just wants Pokemon and they just want a box, or maybe they want to open a box for some cards, you're calling that person an idiot just because they want some Pokemon? I mean, I agree, but that's just rude, bro. That's just rude. I mean, there's worse things you could be spending your money on, though, so I don't know. I'm not gonna hate. I wouldn't spend all that money on Pokemon these days, but I don't know if it's right to call them idiots just because they want to open some Pokemon cards. What if they want to, make a deck to actually play the game? Like, that's a positive thing. I think people who actually play the game are the coolest. All right. There's that. What's up, Jared? GameStop pretty much converted to a commercialized local card shop. You're not going to pay MSRP, but there will be product available. Yeah, for sure. And you can get it right then and there. You don't got to wait for shipping. I actually saw with those perfect order boxes, you actually couldn't pre-order them online. You had to go in store to pre-order the perfect order boxes. So that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. That's good. Keep spending in the store. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But angry people just want to spin it off as negative because they want to get, they want to get that MSRP price so they can go sell it for themselves. Like, anyone who's mad about that is probably just a scalper, realistically. Like, any real collector, anybody who actually collects Pokemon or plays the game, they're probably happy that they are able to get product from GameStop, I would imagine. I mean, I would be. Like, if I was a Pokemon guy, I'd be excited to even be able to have the chance to get product. Because, I mean, it's literally impossible to get product. You can't get it, bro. It's a joke. It's literally a joke. It's quite literally a joke. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. I don't even know what articles to read, man. There's so many. There's too many. I wish I could find what's the last article I read. Wasn't that Seeking Alpha one? I think it's that. I think that's the last one I read. What's the one I read before that, though? There's too many articles. Too many articles. And they're all just written by AI, and they're all just repeating the same things. Ugh. Gross. I can't even find the last article I read. There's just too many. I think somewhere around here. Well, these are all earnings articles. It's got to be somewhere around here. "15 pages deep in Google is insane." Yeah, there's a lot of fucking articles, dude. There's a lot of articles, man. It's wild. There's no way that I'm this far back, though. Yeah, there's no way it's this far back. It's got to be somewhere right here. I just don't remember. I mean, I guess I can just watch or go back to the video I made before earnings. I think it was this article.
What's the downside here? Give me this.
What's the downside here? Let's see, financial content 2026 deep dive. I don't think that's the last article I read though. I think I found that one in the middle of reading all of these. Let's see. This one doesn't have a title. Why is GameStop stock rising on Monday? Where's that? Oh, right there. There it is. Okay, so that's... Okay, and then there's that one. All right. Nice, nice. 15 pages. Good lord, dude. That's insane. That's a lot of articles. I mean, I guess I just start opening them and seeing which ones are interesting, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what to do from here. Let's see. These were before earnings. Yeah, that one was before earnings. That one was in the article, or in the video I made. I don't know if that one was, but this was before earnings, so I don't think we want to read this. No. So we don't want to read that, don't want to read that, not that. And a lot of those are probably the same articles anyway. Let's see. I read that. Fourth quarter 2025 earnings results. These are all earnings things, which I'm not reviewing earnings articles. I did 6 hours of reading the whole 10K and nobody even fucking watched it, so not wasting my time with that shit anymore. Let's see. I don't think I want to read that. I'll open it, I guess, but I don't think I want to read this one. No. Not reading any earnings ones. I don't care about that. Maybe that one could be good. Don't care about earnings. Just all the same shit. It's kind of whack. What the hell's happening to my stream? Whatever. Stream's getting clapped. Hopefully it just doesn't randomly stop like it did the other day. It's just a bunch of fucking earnings articles. What's that? All these articles are the same, bro. Just repeating the same shit. Let's see. What is this one? Just too many terrible articles. We read that. So there's actually no good articles. What a surprise. Maybe that one could be good. Baird. Maybe that one could be good. GameStop stock outlook maintained by Baird after. Okay, that could be good to look into, maybe. We'll see what that is. We read that. So I don't get why they did GameStop actually buy swaps, or is that just that dude's opinion? Because I didn't really look much into that guy. Dude, my computer is so garbage, bro. It won't even load a fucking website, dude. Come on. Come on, brother. Recalls the game of CEO led investor known in late January, blah, blah, blah. Certain existing foundation, blah, 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 blah. Might be thinking something, leverage, blah, blah, blah. See, I wonder if you can find that dude's thing. Gordon Haskett. What is it? Don Bilson or some shit like that? Just buy RAM? I have RAM. I have 32 or 6. I think I have 64 gigs of RAM. Maybe just 32, but I have a lot of RAM. Here's this dude's report. Oh, you can't even read it unless you have a fucking account? That's trash. I ain't making an account for this. What the heck? Why did it do that? Steep revenue decline. No. Maybe this one could be good. I don't know. Check out that one. Check out that one. Probably gonna make my computer go really slow. We'll check out this one. Check out this one. My computer is dying. Let's open all these. I'll go through them real quick, I guess. Sorry, this isn't a very exciting stream today. Just, there's nothing to talk about, so I mean, what are we gonna talk about? How the stock market's complete dog shit and just like I don't really want to talk about the stock market. I don't really want to talk about GameStop. So GameStop stock's dog shit too. I mean, it's holding a lot better than the rest of the market, but there's just no there. I just have no desire to talk about that. I don't care that the market's crashing. I don't care that GameStop's going down. I do care that I don't have more money to buy more. I do care about that. If only I wasn't a brokey. Got my mind on the weekend. What do you got going on this weekend? That looks like an okay article. Grilling up steaks? Whew! That sounds amazing, bro. That sounds amazing. Some steaks. Oh, that sounds good. That's a premium article, so I can't read that. This is just that stupid article that we've read a million times. They just rewrite it over and over again. It's so dumb. You know what's crazy is in the 10K, GameStop specifically says that their stock's fair market value is $22.10, and the stock's literally trading at $22.10. That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy. So I'm not reading that. There's just no good articles, man. This is a paid article, of course. It's pretty whack. They don't have a different version of the Wall Street Journal article. I don't even know where I found that. So, whatever. Was gonna buy more shares, but the price of beef these days, yeesh. Ain't nothing cheap anymore, bro. Everything's expensive as fuck. That's why the markets are dropping, because all the rich people need to get screwed over, and all the wannabe rich people. There's too much money out there. Too much money out there. I mean, that's my opinion on why things are going down. Got people all excited and all hyped up, and then just to knock them down. That article looks pretty good. That article looks pretty good. This one doesn't. These are just earnings breakdowns. I ain't reading that shit. I ain't reading that. That one could maybe be okay, but it is by that same people who just make AI articles. That article looks okay. This one's somewhere over here. That one looks interesting, maybe. And this one doesn't, but whatever. Anything else here? This one could be good, maybe. I think Forex Insiders write good articles. Maybe not. Maybe not. Looks like some AI trash. I want to call the investor relationship number and see if I can get that collateral agreement. I was going to do that this week, but I kind of forgot. Is that page 1? Okay. So that's basically all the articles. I don't even know if I want to read all of them or not. I'll read the ones that I know I want to read, but Baird noted GameStop. What is Baird? Baird GameStop. Market corrections are kind of boring in real time. I mean, they're only boring because we have all our money in GameStop. If we didn't have all our money in GameStop, this would be the most exciting time to be a stock market participant and potentially one of the most profitable times to be a stock market participant. But since we're just sitting here getting fucking wrecked on some garbage, you know, I don't think GameStop's garbage, obviously, but it's pretty annoying. But the fact we're sitting here with no cash and it's all in GameStop, whatever, like, that's why it sucks. Because I guarantee there's a lot of good undervalued investments right now that you could go find that are potentially like 5x pluses, 3 to 5x pluses in the next few years just because of how much the market's down. Like, this is the best time to be a stock trader, or like especially a fundamental analysis stock trader, because you can find undervalued things in these moments. So, it's actually the best time and the most exciting time, but we're just in a position where it sucks ass. And it is boring. It is really boring because the market overall is weighing down our investment as well. So that sucks. And if GameStop was going to drop below $20, this is going to be the time it's going to happen. So it's not great. It's not great. It's not great. But whatever. This is investing. This is what real investing is. You got to sit through the good times and the bad times. And yeah. Hopefully it goes well, cuz it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great.
Is there any material growth slowdown that ultimately comes of that? And does Warsaw in 2000 kind of
with the energy long-term approach in
the sector becomes more profitable? Have been negative so far. They've
stands on. So, Ryan.
I thought it said they made it seem like they had a GameStop article or something in here. The vote's not gonna save you, bro. That's just yeah, that's not gonna do anything. The market continues to go down. GameStop's gonna continue to go down with it. There's nothing they can do to make it not go down. They could do buybacks as it gets low, but still not gonna make the stock go up. This is a bear market. Welcome. I mean, it's been a bear market for a while, but now you're starting to truly see the bear market, and welcome. It sucks ass. So enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. It's all you can do. Do they not? 3926, so it's not going to be in here. Where is this? They got to have... This was 327. Today's 327, so it's not going to be in that. It's not going to be in that. What am I... This is Market Insights, so maybe we need to go to Planning Insights. Maybe? When is the right time to refinance your mortgage? Now? Probably now, when everything's cheap as fuck. Or when the whole market's crashing and you could refinance and... You know, not financial advice, but potentially now. You're not going to get a good rate, but at least you can put the money somewhere that'll potentially outgrow the interest. Maybe. Where is this, man? I don't even know where their comments are about GameStop. I'm trying to look for that, but I don't even see it. Maybe this isn't the right Baird? I don't fucking know, man. What's up, Aaron? Oh no, it's just a clickbait title, bro. It's just a clickbait title. I don't even think... Maybe they'll buy it. I mean, it's definitely one of the companies on the list, that's for sure. But I have no clue. Yeah, I can't find Baird's comments. Like, what? A bunch of articles talking about Baird. Baird maintained its coverage on GameStop. But I can't find the coverage. What the hell, dude? What? What happened to my article? It's gone. My article just, like, disappeared. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. Where's my article, bro? No, it doesn't even matter because they paywalled it. What the f... This is so annoying, bro. It's actually so annoying. Paywall and trash articles. I wish there were some better articles here. Where's the one that I actually wanted to read? Was it this one? I think it was this one. Maybe not. Those two go together, though. Was it this one? Oh, it was this one, I believe. This was the one I actually wanted to read. Because it was actually quite a bit of info. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. GameStop's Bitcoin breakthrough, why this 368 million strategy could redefine corporate crypto. As of March 27, 2026, a seismic shift is unfolding in the world of corporate finance and cryptocurrency. GameStop, once known for primarily its role in the 2021 meme stock frenzy, has made a daring pivot with its 368 million Bitcoin holdings, transforming them into an income-generating machine through option trading. Well, with Bitcoin trading at 68,932, a 2.77% dip in the last 24 hours, this move couldn't come at a more critical juncture as the crypto market grapples with, quote, extreme fear. In my opinion, it seems like GameStop sold the covered calls at all-time highs, but if they continue to sell covered calls at 70,000, I mean, that's very debatable if that's a good idea or not. Why does this matter to you? Whether you're an investor, a crypto enthusiast, or just curious about the future of finance, GameStop's strategy could signal a new era for how companies manage digital assets, potentially impacting market dynamics and offering a blueprint for navigating volatility. What's next for corporate crypto plays, and could spark this revolution? Let's dive in and explore every angle of this bold gamble. I mean, it's not really a gamble, it's just income generation, and the only way you really lose is if Bitcoin goes up above the strike price by the expiration date. I mean, you do lose as the stock goes down or the crypto goes down, of course, but I mean, I don't know, is Bitcoin actually going to go to zero? Probably not. It's probably going to stick around 60, 70K as fair value, most likely. It could go lower. I would never say it couldn't go lower, but yeah, I don't know. And also, I don't think selling covered calls at 70K would be a good idea. So it'll be interesting if a bunch of other businesses start copying GameStop when GameStop literally probably sold their covered calls at all-time highs. If people start selling covered calls on Bitcoin while it's at 70K, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Market analysis and key developments. GameStop's decision to shift from simply holding Bitcoin to actively generating income through option trading is a master stroke of financial engineering. I agree. It was a really good move. And also, they pledged the Bitcoin, and from what I've read, pledging Bitcoin is like getting a loan on your Bitcoin. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the covered call strategy. And, it does seem that way, but in a lot of ways, it seems like they sold the covered calls back when it was trading at 100K, and then they pledged the Bitcoin later. I'm not too sure exactly what they did exactly. So if any article you read says something about that, I don't know if I would put too much weight on it. This isn't just about sitting on a pile of digital gold. It's about leveraging market volatility to create consistent cash flow. As of late March 2026, Bitcoin's price has been under pressure, reflecting broader market uncertainty. Yet GameStop's treasury team seems to have anticipated this, opting for a strategy that thrives on price swings rather than fearing them. This move comes at a time when corporate adoption of cryptocurrency is still evolving. Companies like MicroStrategy have famously amassed Bitcoin as a reserve asset, with CEO Michael Saylor often championing it as digital gold. But GameStop is taking a different path, one that prioritizes active management over passive accumulation. By selling covered calls and cash-secured puts, they're betting on steady premiums while mitigating downside risks, a tactic that could prove invaluable in a market where sentiment is at rock bottom. I don't think they're selling cash secured puts, but that would be crazy. That'd be wild. They pledge the Bitcoin for a loan and then they sell cash secured puts at 70K. That would be interesting. That would be an interesting move. The broader crypto market isn't helping ease nerves either, with daily trading volumes fluctuating wildly and institutional investors remaining cautious. GameStop's pivot could either be seen as a stroke of genius or a risky gamble, but one thing is clear, this isn't business as usual. For a real-time breakdown of market signal, okay, I don't want to read that. What's this mean for investors? For retail and institutional investors alike, GameStop's strategy is a wake-up call. If a company can turn its Bitcoin holdings into a revenue stream, what does that mean for the traditional buy and hold mantra that dominated crypto investing? First, it suggests that volatility, often seen as a liability, can be an asset if managed correctly. That rhymed. Investors might start looking at their portfolios with fresh eyes, wondering if options or derivatives could offer similar benefits. Second, this move could influence Bitcoin's price stability. If more corporations follow suit, the increased activity in crypto derivative markets might dampen extreme price swings, creating a more predictable environment. However, there's a flip side. By selling options, companies like GameStop can cap their upside potential, which could frustrate investors hoping for massive gains during a bull run. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't frustrate me. I'd prefer that they make income off of the Bitcoin rather than hope that the price is going to go up, because I just don't think that's a good strategy, and it hasn't worked out for any of the companies that were raising corporate bonds to buy Bitcoin back at over 100K. So I'll take the income over potential upside. And also, personally, I don't think Bitcoin's ever going to go above 150, 200K. Even if it does, like, that's not a big enough upside to really care, in my opinion. So what's the takeaway? If you're holding Bitcoin or eyeing corporate stocks with crypto exposure, it's time to pay attention to how these strategies unfold. The balance between risk and reward is shifting, and staying informed is key. Deep dive, understanding the context. The evolution of corporate crypto holdings. To fully grasp GameStop's strategy, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture. Corporate adoption of Bitcoin kicked off in earnest around 2020, when companies like Tesla and MicroStrategy began allocating portions of their treasuries to cryptocurrency. The rationale was simple. Bitcoin offered a hedge against inflation and a potential store of value in uncertain economic times. Fast forward to 2026, and the landscape has matured, yet challenges remain. Obviously, it wasn't a very good hedge against inflation, because holding cash has been the best investment you could have had for the past year, I guess past few months. Well, I mean, I guess past year, because even buying Bitcoin back into 100K, if you weren't like trading it, you weren't making money. You've only lost money, or you were sitting stagnant for a very long time. At least if you were holding cash, you were making income every single month. Why options trading now? Bitcoin's notorious volatility hasn't gone away. Prices can swing 5 to 10% in a single day. There's a lot of rhyming in this article, as we've seen recently with the 2.77% drop. For treasuries holding hundreds of millions in Bitcoin, these swings translate into significant balance sheet fluctuations. GameStop's pivot to option trading, likely involving covered calls, selling the right to buy Bitcoin at a set price, and cash-secured puts, agreeing to buy more at a lower price, is a direct response to this unpredictability. It's a way to smooth out the ride while still staying in the game. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why it keeps mentioning secured puts, though, because it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing, but maybe. That'd be interesting if they did that. Market sentiment and timing. Timing is everything, and GameStop's move comes as market sentiment sits at extreme fear. This isn't just a random data point from the Fear-Greed Index. It reflects a broader hesitancy among investors to take on risk. By generating income through options, GameStop is positioning itself as a contrarian, betting that it can profit even in a downturn. But will this pay off, or is it a misstep in the market poised for recovery? Only time will tell. That's all you can say. Only time will tell. Expert perspectives and industry impact. Industry analysts are divided on GameStop's approach. On one hand, some see it as a pioneering move that could inspire other corporations to rethink their crypto strategies. This is a natural evolution of treasury management in the digital age, noted a senior analyst at Bloomberg, who emphasized that the potential for options to provide stability in turbulent markets. If successful, GameStop could become a case study for CFOs worldwide. It'd be pretty wild if a bunch of corporations started doing this strategy, because most of corporations bought their Bitcoin at over 100K and they used debt to do it. So if they started selling covered calls at like 70K, I just don't think that would be a good idea. I just feel like that'd be wild. GameStop was just maybe lucky, but I think Ryan Cohen's just a smart investor and he took advantage of the Bitcoin hype in the moment. On the other hand, skeptics warn of risks. Options trading, while lucrative, is complex and can backfire if not executed with precision. Capping upside potential in a market with Bitcoin's growth trajectory is a gamble, argued a crypto strategist. Oh, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. There's no gamble. The only gamble is if Bitcoin goes to zero. Capping your upside for net income is actually a genius business decision. There's also the question of scale. If giants like Tesla or Square adopt similar tactics, the derivatives market could see unprecedented demand, potentially reshaping liquidity dynamics. If a bunch of corporations start selling covered calls, it's going to most likely suppress the price. So I don't know if I agree with that, but you never know. The impact on the broader industry is undeniable. GameStop is blurring the lines between traditional finance and crypto, showing that digital assets don't have to sit idle. This could accelerate mainstream adoption, but it also raises questions about regulatory oversight, which we'll explore later. Financial implications and opportunities. A new revenue model for corporations. GameStop's strategy introduces a compelling financial model, turning idle assets into active income. By earning premium from options, the company can offset operational costs or reinvest in growth initiatives. For shareholders, this could mean a more stable stock price, less tied to Bitcoin's wild fluctuations, but it is not without trade-offs. Limiting upside potential might alienate investors banking on a crypto bull run. If you're betting on GameStop for crypto, you don't know what you're doing. Literally, like, if you look at Bitcoin on GameStop's balance sheet and you think that has really any significance, I'd argue your investment knowledge. I would argue your investment knowledge. Opportunities for investors. For individual investors, GameStop's play opens up a new way of thinking about crypto exposure. Instead of directly buying Bitcoin, one might consider stocks of companies employing sophisticated crypto strategies. Additionally, the derivatives market itself becomes more attractive as corporate participation grows, potentially offering retail traders new avenues for profit. Yeah, sure. Except all the companies that raised debt to buy Bitcoin are all down a ton, so I think it's a little late. I think it's a little late to be employing this strategy, but who knows? Market dynamics at play. Increased corporate involvement in crypto derivatives could stabilize Bitcoin's price over time by balancing buy and sell pressures. However, it might also concentrate risks in the derivative space, especially if strategies are poorly hedged. Investors and regulators alike will need to monitor how these dynamics evolve, particularly as more players enter the fray. Technical analysis and key indicators. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of how GameStop might be timing its option trades. Technical analysis plays a crucial role in deciding when to sell calls or puts, and several indicators are likely guiding their decisions. Relative Strength Index RSI, currently hovering near oversold territory at 30, suggesting Bitcoin might be due for a bounce. This could influence GameStop to sell puts, betting on a price recovery. That'd be so interesting if they sold puts. I don't really see them doing that, but that would be a very interesting thing. Moving average convergence divergency, MACD, a bearish crossover in recent days indicates downward momentum, potentially prompting more conservative call selling. I don't know. I just don't think selling calls at 70K Bitcoin's a good idea, but I guess, we'll see. We'll see next quarter what they did. Support and resistance levels. Bitcoin's key support at 65,000 and resistance at 72,000 are critical zones for setting strike prices on options. These indicators are vital for option strategies, helping to pinpoint entry and exit points. Future outlook and predictions. What does the future hold for GameStop and corporate crypto strategies? In the short term, expect volatility to persist as the market digests this unconventional approach. If Bitcoin remains range-bound between 65,000 and 72,000, GameStop's option play could generate steady income, proving the model's viability. Analysts at Reuter suggest a 60% likelihood of Bitcoin stabilizing in this range through mid-2026 based on historical volatility patterns. I just don't know that GameStop's going to keep selling options. I think they saw their opportunity and they took it. When there's another opportunity to get a decent amount of premium, I think they'll do it again. But I don't know if this is going to be something they're going to do every single quarter. I mean, I guess we'll find out, but I just don't. And also, did they pledge the Bitcoin for the covered calls? Or did they sell the covered calls and then pledge the Bitcoin after? I think that's still yet to be determined, because if they pledge the Bitcoin after the selling the covered calls, then the covered calls have nothing to do with pledging Bitcoin, and they essentially just got a loan on their Bitcoin holdings. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of unknown information to sit and be like, yeah, they're going to do this every single month or every single quarter. I just don't think that's the case. Looking further out, the long-term implications are profound. If successful, get treasuries to adopt similar tactics, potentially transforming Bitcoin from a speculative asset into a cornerstone of financial strategy. However, regulatory hurdles loom. Dude, the US SEC and global bodies are still grappling with how to oversee crypto derivatives, and any crackdown could derail these plans. Why is my stream always just dying, bro? My stream always claps out when in the middle of reading. It's so annoying. On the bullish side, some market watchers predict Bitcoin could rally to 100,000 by late 2026 if macroeconomic conditions improve. In that scenario, GameStop's capped upside from selling covered calls might draw criticism. Either way, the experiment is one to closely watch. Regulatory landscape navigating the unknown. Current challenges. The regulatory environment for crypto derivatives remains a patchwork in 2026. In the US, the SEC has ramped up scrutiny of crypto-related financial products, often citing investor protection concerns. Meanwhile, jurisdictions like EU and Singapore are crafting more defined frameworks, which could either enable or restrict corporate strategies like GameStop's. Potential outcomes. A unified global regulatory standard could be a boon, providing clarity and encouraging more companies to experiment with crypto income strategies. Conversely, fragmented or overly restrictive rules might push innovation offshore, limiting mainstream adoption. According to a recent Financial Times report, 70% of surveyed CFOs cited regulatory uncertainty as their top concern for crypto treasury allocation. GameStop's position. GameStop will need to navigate this landscape carefully. Any misstep, such as failing to comply with evolving disclosure requirements, could invite penalties or reputational damage. Staying ahead of the regulatory curve will be as critical as the strategy itself. Frequently asked questions. What is GameStop's Bitcoin option strategy? GameStop is reportedly using its 368 million Bitcoin holdings to generate income through options trading, likely involving covered calls, selling the right to buy Bitcoin at a set price, and cash secured puts, agreeing to buy more at a lower price. This allows the company to earn premiums while managing exposure to Bitcoin's volatility. I don't know why it keeps talking about cash secured puts. There is no evidence that they're doing that. And also, I just think they did the covered calls when Bitcoin was at 100K, or after that first initial drop in the end of January when it went down to 80, and then it popped back up like January 16th or whatever. That's potentially when they sold the covered calls, maybe even before that. So it's just unlikely and unknown that they're going to continue to be selling covered calls while Bitcoin trades at 70K. I just don't think that's how it's going to go. I think Ryan Cohen's smarter than that, but maybe they're just going to use... I just don't know why they would keep selling the covered calls at 70K anyway, because if Bitcoin does go back up to 80K, 90K, then the Bitcoin they bought for 106,000, they'd have to sell it at like 80, 90K. So that just wouldn't even be a good move anyway. So I think that people are putting a little bit too much weight on this covered call thing, thinking that they're going to be doing this all the time, but probably not. They're probably just going to be doing it opportune moments. And maybe they'll do some cash secured puts, but I just don't know. Why is GameStop moving away from just holding Bitcoin? Holding Bitcoin exposes a company to significant price swings, which can impact balance sheets. By trading options, GameStop aims to create a steady income stream and mitigate downside risk, especially in a market showing extreme fear as of March 2026. Yep. What are the risks of this strategy? The primary risk is capped upside if Bitcoin surges. GameStop might miss out on massive gains due to the options sold. Additionally, options trading is complex and could lead to losses if mismanaged, and regulatory uncertainty adds another layer of risk. Also, all of GameStop's options expired today, and a lot of them already had expired. Anyone who read the 10K already knows that, so there is no risk at this point unless they sold more, which doesn't seem likely. Could other companies adopt similar strategies? Absolutely. If GameStop's approach proves successful, it could become a template for other corporations with crypto holdings, potentially increasing activity in derivatives markets and influencing Bitcoin's price stability. How does this impact retail investors? Retail investors might see new opportunities in stocks of companies using crypto strategies or in the derivatives market itself. However, it also means understanding more complex financial instruments and their implications on asset prices. Conclusion: a turning point for crypto and corporations. GameStop's bold transformation of its 368 million Bitcoin holdings into an income-generating strategy marks a pivotal moment in corporate finance. As of March 2026, with Bitcoin trading at 68,932 amidst a backdrop of market fear, this move challenges the status quo of passive crypto holding. It's a high-stakes experiment that could either redefine treasury management or serve as a cautionary tale of overreaching ambition. For investors and industry observers, the implications are vast. Will this strategy stabilize corporate exposure to digital assets, or will it limit potential gains in a future bull run? One thing is certain, GameStop has started a conversation that Wall Street can't ignore. Share your thoughts on the groundbreaking approach. And yeah. Pretty good article. Not great. It definitely seems like it was written by AI, but a lot of content there. And I don't know, I just don't really agree that they're going to continue to sell covered calls unless Bitcoin starts going up. Like if Bitcoin goes back up to like 80, 90K, sure, I see them doing it again, but I just don't see them doing it while Bitcoin is staying flat at 70K. It just doesn't seem like a good move anyway. I mean, it would be a little different if they had bought the Bitcoin around 70, 80K, but I believe they bought it at like 106,000, so it just wouldn't even make any sense for them to sell at these prices. Nice. That was a decent article. So I'll get rid of all these other Bitcoin ones. Did the stock go up or something? No. I saw like a bunch of people join the stream randomly, and then they all left. It's kind of weird. It's because the stock started to go up a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Weird stream day. A lot of people coming in and out. How'd the market do? Damn. Market is clapped, son. Absolutely clapped. Pretty whack. Pretty whack. What am I doing this weekend? Probably nothing, honestly. I don't have any plans or anything. No plans. I think I'm just going to save all these articles for now. Because I don't... Let's see. How do I put them in a group? Or into a... that's not what I wanted to do. Add all tabs to favorites. There we go. Articles to read. I'll just put to do. To do! No, we don't want it in news. We just want it on the favorites bar. There we go. Nice. Nice. I don't have to have all these up. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything. What are you, you said you're grilling steaks. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a good time. Yeah, no plans for me, bro. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything. Just being bored. Oops. Gonna buy a new hockey stick tomorrow. Start summer hockey next week. Oh, that's dope. That sounds like a good time. Some hockey? I'm sure I'll like go skate or something this week, but it's not very exciting. Maybe I'll go sneak onto the course, go play a couple rounds. of some golf. Haven't skated in a year, so the cardio could be an issue. I'm sure you'll be alright. You'll be alright. A little heart attack never hurt anyone. Just kidding. Still got snow? Really? What the heck? It's been like warm here. Setting up my sim tonight to play a bit. Nice. Yeah, the weather's been warm here. Supposed to be 70 degrees this weekend. And then it's supposed to get cold again next week. Weird ass weather where I live, bro. It goes from 80 degrees to 40. Live in a weird place, bro. They have defibrillators at the rink now. Ah, see, you'll be good, bro. You'll be good. You'll be juiced right back to life. Let's see, how many videos do I have ready? Got 1, 2, 3. I got one for Saturday, Sunday. Okay, we should be chilling. I don't really want to read anymore anyway. I don't think. I'll go through these one more time, but I think I'll save these for next week maybe. I've done enough reading this week. Yeah, I'll save these for next week and decide if I want to read them then. Well, you guys got anything? You guys got anything to talk about before we go? Is it just a rumor GME's buying Best Buy? Yes, it's a rumor. If it was confirmed, you would know. Nothing on Reddit, of course. God, Reddit is so trash, dude. Wouldn't it be cool if there was actually like any value on this website? It would be cool. But there's not. Unfortunately, there's not. Yeah, nothing there. What's BBY? Best Buy. Wondering about what that part you came across reading about the notes may not be dilution of shares. I thought I overheard that. Yeah, it was saying if the stock, I don't remember the exact wordage, but it's something like if the stock's trading over $30+ and the notes get converted, it won't be dilution because the shares will be trading higher than that, or the shares that get bought, I think, are converted at like $28, $29 for the notes, and then $32 for the warrants, and the fair value of the stock is, $22.10. The book value's $13. So if you're converting shares at, $28, $32, it's not dilutive. It would only be dilutive if they were converting at, $20. If you were Ryan, what would you do with $9 billion? I would keep it in cash and make $300 million a year. Over 300 million a year. Just holding cash. Tiger Woods flipped his car again? No way. They have a video of it? No video? Oh, they have a picture. That dude really likes flipping cars, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't think there's any video of it, just this little photo. Yeah, that's all they got is the photo. He likes the attention? Maybe. You think he could afford a driver? Facts. For real. For real. And there goes the stream, bro. There goes the stream, clapping out. Why does it do that, bro? I don't understand. I don't understand why it does that. The stream is so bad. It's either my internet or the computer or a combination of both. Shit sucks. Clipped quick, set offline, now it's back. Yeah, it dropped all the frames. It's kind of whack. Kind of whack. I don't know. Does anyone else have anything going on for the weekend? Anything exciting? Dude, this stream. Why is it doing this lately, bro? It's just so bad. It's so annoying, man. Stream is so garbage lately. Just been lagging so much. Oh, there it goes. Dude. Why is it doing that? Alright, chat. I don't know if anyone can hear me, but I guess I'm just gonna get out of here because this stream is pure garbage. And for some reason, I can't just have a good quality stream. I gotta just be lagging like crazy lately. Literally makes no sense, but I hope you guys have a good weekend. Appreciate you all supporting the stream, supporting the videos. And yeah. I'll see you guys on Monday, unless there's some news or something over the weekend. Maybe I'll fire up the stream and make some stream clips, but other than that, I'll see you guys on Monday. I appreciate you guys. Shout out Ruben, Moose. Much love, boys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I don't know who else is here, but I appreciate you guys supporting the stream. Whether you're an OG or you're someone who's newer to the stream, I appreciate you. Thanks for giving the stream another chance if you're newer. And if you're an OG, you know, thank you for always supporting. I really appreciate it. Later, Jesse. You have a good one, bro. You have a good one, bro. And try not to worry about the market too much. You know, market going up and down doesn't matter. We all know what we're investing in. We know what the future looks like. So worrying about price action, especially if the price action makes you feel negative and it makes you emotional, it's just not even worth your time, bro. Like, you know what you're investing in. You know the future. Short-term price action literally means nothing. You know, we could have done a lot of things, you know. We could have done a lot of things, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So, you know, if you're feeling negative about short-term price action on the stock market, I mean, it's just not even worth it, bro. It's not even worth it. It's just numbers on a screen. They literally mean nothing. So, I don't know. Just enjoy your weekend. Don't worry too much about this trash market. Like, who cares, man? Like, it's been a long time coming, honestly. You can't be making lower lows and higher lows every single week and expect the market to become bullish all of a sudden. Even though, you know, I was bullish, it doesn't matter, you know. My opinions about the market mean nothing. Anyone's opinions about the market mean nothing, so I don't know. Just enjoy your weekend. Don't worry too much about this stuff. You know, it's probably going to get worse, honestly, so it's probably going to get worse if I'm just being honest. Like, maybe this is the end, but it's probably going to get worse. So, enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's a beautiful time to be alive. It's a beautiful time to be alive. You know, if you're sitting on cash right now, this is a blessing. So, enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Maybe we'll do a weekend stream, but we'll see. We'll see. But appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Peace!